you know, like I said, it's one thing when it's done accidentally, but when it's done intentionally, I don't even know if it's done intentionally. I think even when it's done accidentally, it still is kind of like I said, puncturing Baymax and having to put that tape over it.
But it's not as bad. Like, I've had friends, like a bunch of my friends who knew me before I transitioned and then knew me right now, have, like, accidentally said it to them, accidentally misgendered me once, and only once, and then immediately corrected themselves. Like, there was a kid. I didn't plan on telling him. I thought he was just going to be immediately transphobic. He's been nothing but kind. And he called me she once, and looked at me with his eyes wide and was like, I'm so sorry. And it's like, it's fine. We're talking about things teenage boys talk about.
Yeah.
And you're worried about misgendering me.
Yeah. The other thing that I was that, again, at work, one of my supervisors, the supervisor that I actually came out to very first, was on the phone talking to another supervisor about me, not realizing I was in the room.
Yeah.
And I could hear her misgendering me. And the supervisor in front of me didn't correct her. That bothered me more than anything else.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't, my rights weren't being stuck up for. I wasn't going to interrupt the phone call. But my boss wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
My boss didn't correct them. I literally went and emailed that supervisor, he, him, and that was what I sent.
Oh.
That was all I did. He, him. I didn't get an email back. So, anyway.
Now that we've had that 45-minute tangent.
Yeah, I really want to talk about this whole...
we have very strong opinions about misgendering.
We do. We really do.
There might need to be a part 2.
No. No. We'll go quite so in depth into this one, but
yeah.
And again, this is going to be more about some parents are going to have issue with this. I think a lot of transgenders have issue with this, and it kind of makes me wonder if anybody's actually had experienced with it.
And if they have, I feel so bad for them.
And what we're talking about people asking to see your body parts, people focusing on your body parts.
Sexualizing people without their consent.
Yeah.
In a sense.
And again, I'm on the Advocate page right now, and it's advocate.com, and they're discussing a commentary, Katie Couric, and again, this is back from 2014, and she was talking to, she was talking to Carmen, I'm going to mess this up one, and I apologize profusely, Carrera? Carrera?
I don't know. I can't see it from here.
And Laverne. I
You're getting
quit.
a soda after this.
I quit. But anyway, these were two transgender women.
Okay.
And Katie Couric kind of made it like, are you sexually complete down there? And I mean, both women were like, why are we talking about our private parts? Like, those are ours. That's none of your business.
Yeah.
And I do, I've been asked, do you plan on having all the surgeries? And to me, it's different. Like, those types of questions, it's like, well, yeah, maybe, sort of, I can understand why you're asking. It's a curiosity question.
Yeah.
But
if you're asking, do you have those already?
Yeah.
That's invasion, and that's weird, and that's creepy.
Or what was the one, there was a cartoon that somebody shared with me, and I saw it. It was a babysitter. Okay. And the babysitter, the lady said, hey, are you that little girl's babysitter? And she went, well, I'm their babysitter. How dare you identify them by their gender? What kind of person identifies a child by their genitalia? And it was like a perv moment. When you made a person think that way or look at that, it really was, why are you focused on what's in the no-no squares? Yeah. And we do this. I don't want to say we do this, but people do this. Society does this. You are literally who you are based on what is underneath that zipper. Or underneath the skirt. Or tucked away in the boulder holder shoulder holders. I know I messed that up, but I couldn't help it.
And in all honesty, the only people who should be caring and thinking about that are people you've already consented to having sex to.
Agreed.
Sex with.
Sex with.
I said two.
That's okay.
But, if you aren't planning, and this is, I've heard this used, the 5 F's. If you weren't feeding them, financing them, or the other word I'm not
fluffing them,
you should not know nor ask. And you should not care about people who aren't doing those 3 things opinions.
I like that. The 3 F's.
The 3 F's.
The 3 F's. Okay.
Feeding, financing, and fluffing.
Well, I only feed and finance you, so I guess you're out.
And you're not... it's one of the 3.
Yeah.
One of the 3. If they aren't doing those, you should not care about their opinion.
Okay, now, as far as... I disagree a little bit, but only because, again, medical. Mm-hmm. Your doctors should also...
Your doctor's opinion should matter.
But that's more of a medical standpoint, not a...
If you're going to a doctor and then not taking that doctor's advice, why are you going to the doctor?
Well, again, though, if you've had bottom surgery and that stuff needs to be evaluated or corrected or scar tissue or what have you, obviously that stuff matters. But legitimately, I mean, whether you've come out as, trans, you are trans, you aren't trans, you're thinking about it, you're a closet trans.
A closet trans.
A closet trans. It's like okay, shut up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I derailed you there.
It's a parent of a trans or non-binary.
A friend.
An ally.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Be aware of this. This happens. This happens.
Yeah.
This happens morning, noon, and night. I mean, we, they, them, us, we're identified and misgendered by what is our appearance.
Mm-hmm.
But whether what's under my shirt is legitimately there for the time being, or a bra that is padded.
Mm-hmm. And what disgusts me is this is happening to children as well.
I agree. But again, like I say, that's none of anybody's business but yours.
Mm-hmm.
Darling, ladies out there, if you are male to female transgendering, and you have a double A cup and it is stuffed, or a B cup or an H cup, sweetheart, I don't care. You wear it, you flaunt it, you are fabulous, and I don't give a darn. Okay?
Your accent's popping out.
I'm sorry. I've been in so many countries over my lifetime that every so often it comes out.
It's funny when the Russian one comes out and the neighbors are around.
Yeah. Every once in a while, a Russian accent pops out, and the neighbors are really concerned that, the USSR lives next door. Anyway.
You can't make those jokes. Are you allowed to make those jokes?
I can. There's no rules that say that I can't. Anyway, like I was saying, when it comes to those types of things, and we're especially terrified when it comes to our kids, again, yes, I'm transgender, but I'm also the parent of a transgender child.
Mm-hmm.
And you're transparent. Oh, that was a dad joke. That was such a bad dad joke.
I was allowed to say it, though.
You are. Okay, I'm a transparent.
Literally.
What's a transplant? We have several.
I immediately looked around like...
So anyway, we, as a parent, like, you going into the boys' locker room terrified me initially.
It did?
Sure. Because, it was worried about Jim and how you were going to be perceived. Mm-hmm. Now, again, you present very well. You always have been. You're not what we would have classified as a curvy girl to begin with. You're a stick figure with pants on.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sorry. You're a frog. we put pants on you. There's no butt. There's no nothing. You know what I mean? You don't have that. You never had that voluptuous, curvy figure that your sister has. Mm-hmm. You are,
My dog begs to differ.
Yeah, that's my dog. Anyway, so, cutting your hair and, giving you glasses and starting you on tea, it pretty much, assisted with that.
Yeah, and there's a few kids who've, immediately recognized me.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are a few kids who go, who is that?
Yeah.
I was talking to one of my old childhood best friends in the hall.
Mm-hmm.
And a bully, someone who had bullied me in my past, who is friends with my friend, was friends with my friend. They don't talk anymore.
Okay.
Came up. I was like, oh, hey, their name. Because I knew their name. And as I'm leaving, I hear, who is that?
Mm-hmm.
And even, friends who I never really spoke too much stared at me for the first week of, do I know that person? That person's familiar.
Yeah.
I can't put my finger on it, and then I got, oh, I know that person.
Well, and you also have to remember, for people who are listening in connotation or in context, Leo came out of school for 2 years. So Leo came out of school as a female, did 2 years of did 2 years of cyber schooling for a school-based phobia, for school anxiety, and then returned as Leo.
Yeah.
So, these kids had seen you in 6th grade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the beginning of 6th grade, actually.
Yeah, and then you left halfway through that year.
I left in December. I left on December 8th.
Yeah,
I remember the exact day.
Okay. So you left partway through the year, and then, 2 years later, in the middle of middle school, or actually, no, I take that back, because it was now your freshman year in high school. You come back as Leo. There's a lot of people, that's a big change for a lot of people.
And a lot of them have been taking it really well.
I haven't heard too many issues.
Yeah, no.
No.
Besides the one kid who accidentally and then immediately corrected himself.
Yeah.
And he hasn't messed up since.
That's wow. It's just gonna be one of those episodes. All right, so
Anytime we need to take a moment to go cuss.
Yeah, definitely.
You've been sitting at this table for far too long.
I guess. Holy cow.
We're both messing up.
We're both bad tonight.
We only have a 30-minute time limit on our sensors.
Yeah, apparently. But so, like I said, the media needs to stop this. People in general need to stop worrying about what's underneath our clothes.
Sexualizing us, actually.
Yeah, really.
That's what it is.
Well, and the thing is, you would never go to a cisgender person and go, how do I know you're really a guy? Yeah. How do I know you're really a woman? Are those real? Can I squeeze them? If you're in a swimsuit, is that really you down there? What are you doing looking down there?
Is that really your skin?
Yeah. We again, one of the service things we talk about is we always go eyes up here. Whenever, it was sexual harassment training for you to go, if you're a male is talking to a female, the guy would always look at her boobs and she would always go, hey, I'm up here.
Yeah.
We do that all the time. So we can't sexualize a cisgender because that's bad. But it's okay to sexualize transgenders.
Yeah. And transgender youth nonetheless.
Transgenders in general. I mean, youth are getting it a lot more. But again, and like I said, I've been asked these questions. Are you going to get it? How big's it going to be? Does it get hard? I don't know. I haven't had one yet. I'll let you know. What are you going to do with the tops? I'm going to store them for luck.
I'm sending them to my friends.
Yes, I'm sending to a friend of mine who doesn't have any.
We've actually joked about airdropping ours to one of my friends.
Right? I mean, legitimately. Those are my bits and pieces. I'll decide what to do. And I shouldn't say this because we joke about it in a one way, but my boss is notorious for getting curiosity. How big's it going to be? Why would you only want that long? Man, if I could get mine longer, I'm sitting there like, why? And then I remember, okay, wait, I'm talking to men about, penises. And this is what we do.
You're talking to men
about penises. And again, that's what happens. But even then it was, how long is the surgery going to take? Are you going to do it? Why would you want to do it? Why would you not want to do it? Don't you feel weird if you don't do it? Because then you've got the top of a guy, the bottom of a girl. Why the heck are you worried about my bits and pieces, tops and bottoms?
Not your body, not your problem.
Yeah. I used to say, not my circus, not my monkeys. But people are obsessed. And like I said, with transgenders more so. And then with transgender children.
Yeah.
Because again, locker rooms, and now schools are so worried about, they're going to get sued if they don't, and they're going to get sued if they do.
Yeah.
They don't know, at this point it's almost this mass conundrum.
I have a friend who's gender non-conforming who uses the other bathroom because he doesn't want to deal with that. Yeah.
I'm so thankful for those independent, those family bathrooms sometimes.
He uses the nurse's bathroom.
There you go.
And I'm saying he because he lets me use his pronouns, but he also likes they, them.
All right, so listen, now we're an hour into the show. We are an hour into the show. This is by far our longest show, and we have been ranting and cussing, and it's really not pretty. So again, we are definitely putting a trigger warning on this one, probably an obscenities warning too.
Adult viewers only.
Adult content at large.
Adult content.